Caleb and Hannah had been married for 7 years. They were the kind of couple others envied, deeply in love, gentle with each other, and strong in their faith. Every night before bed, they knelt beside each other and prayed the same simple request, "Lord, please bless us with a child." But month after month, year after year, their request went unfulfilled. They tried everything. Doctors, fertility treatments, fasting, prayer chains. Still nothing. Friends tiptoed around the topic. Church members avoided eye contact when Mother's Day rolled around. The silence in the nursery room they had painted light blue was beginning to echo louder than ever. One Sunday afternoon, driving home from church in their well-loved Subaru, the air was unusually quiet between them. The sermon had been on Sarah bearing a child at the age of 90, and it had hit them harder than either would admit. Caleb drove while Hannah watched the road drift by in silence, her hand resting on his shoulder. Then, outside the local elementary school, they approached a yellow road sign. "Watch for children." Caleb had passed by the sign hundreds of times before without thinking much of it. But in that moment, its true meaning was revealed to him. He pulled over and stopped completely. "What are you doing?" Hannah asked. Caleb stared at the sign. Then smiled. "It's a sign," he said. "I mean, obviously," Hannah replied, puzzled. "No, I mean, a sign. From God." He unbuckled his seat belt and stepped out of the car, leaving Hannah bewildered. If you're enjoying this video, please subscribe, hit the like button, and prayerfully consider supporting this ministry at patreon.com/brainrenewal. She watched through the windshield as Caleb removed his wristwatch, an old Timex she had given him the Christmas they got engaged, and laid it gently on the grass beneath the sign. When he got back in, Hannah was frowning. What was that about? Caleb looked forward. "Watch, for children." Hannah stared at him. Then she laughed. A real laugh. The kind they hadn't shared in months. "That's either brilliant or completely crazy. Most miracles start that way," he said. 3 weeks later, Hannah realized she was late for her period. Not just maybe late. Definitely. She took a pregnancy test in the middle of the night while Caleb was sleeping, sat on the edge of the tub, and stared at the 2 pink lines as tears welled in her eyes. The next morning, Caleb found her sitting in the nursery, hugging a stuffed lion and beaming. They went in for their first ultrasound a few weeks after that. The technician smiled at the screen. Then paused. "Well," she said, tilting her head, "looks like there's not just one heartbeat." Hannah sat up slightly. "What do you mean?" "There's 2, the technician said, smiling wide. "You're having twins." Several years later, Caleb and Hannah were driving home from church again, but this time their 2 young children were in the back seat. One of them, who was just learning how to read, noticed a sign on the side of the road, and sounded out the words, "Watch, for children." Caleb, with a smile, replied, "Best trade I ever made. Is anything too hard for Yahweh? At the set time I will return to you, when the season comes around, and Sarah will have a son." Genesis chapter 18, verse 14.